Well, the brewery came about because I'm a brewer. Rather than being employed by a host of different other companies, I thought it would be a good thing for our future together to have our own brewery. I took an MBA course so that I would learn about finance, and was hopeless at finance, but quite good at making beer.
Rather than me going back into the corporate world or Rick being re-employed by another brewer, we decided that the time was right to try and set up our own business. I decided that we should brew lager instead of ale because I don't like ale, and I certainly didn't want to have a company making something I couldn't drink. But also, given that my background was sales, I'd done quite a bit of research into the market. At that point in time, about 75% of the beer that was drunk in the UK was lager. It didn't make sense to me as somebody analysing a market to go into an already overcrowded marketplace with lots of ale brewers into 25% of the market. So I thought, well, why don't we brew a lager, and then we've got 75% of the market to try and target. And also, you'd worked for a micro lager brewery, hadn't you, in the past?
Well, I've made loads of big brands like Foster's, Kronenberg and Miller, and you name it, I've done it. So it seemed quite a good challenge to set up a lager brewery. Obviously, it has to drink the beer to know what the flavours are all about, but then you've got to put the beer together. So it's a very simple process of mixing together water, malted barley, hops, ferment it with yeast, and then make sure that the processed beer tastes good and reflects the skill that goes into it. Wow, that's such a good question, because that's the essence of the lagering process. And lagering is storage, and while the beer is stored, it matures, and so the flavours come together, and the longer lagered beers are often the better beers. Well, I think what I'm most proud of, and I think we're probably both very proud of, is surviving COVID, because COVID's been immensely challenging, and then the whole operation was whittled down to just a few of us, and then rebuilding a team after that. We went from supplying draft beer to pubs to not being able to supply draft beer to pubs, to then have to work our bottling line and create a local Oxfordshire, Gloucestershire bottle delivery operation. And so it was all hands to the bottling machine. So we got through COVID, kept the company afloat, and now we can rebuild our brewing team and we can resupply to the pubs. It's great for the people who are joining our company and becoming immersed into the new Hawkstone experience. And I think I'm just amazed that Emma's managed to guide the company through all this.
The thing that I'm most proud of is the fact that we have the most amazing team who clearly love working here, and we love working with them. It's phenomenal, and it's great to see people who are given an opportunity, particularly in a rural area where they think that those sorts of jobs traditionally aren't necessarily open to them or available in this area, and to see someone come on board and flourish, and that's what really, I think, makes me particularly proud.
Well, the exciting thing is that the bottling is not only are we supplying Oxfordshire and Gloucestershire, which we were able to do in our van, the beer and the bottled beer is all available on the website. And so the beer can be delivered to Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland, not yet Timbuktu or anywhere like that, but the bottling machine is going crazy, and we're all hands to the pumps now. So not only are we brewing like nutters, we're kegging the beer like nutters, getting it delivered to the local pubs, and the bottles are flying off the shelf.
So we've recently changed our brand name from Cotswold Brew Co. So our products, which were previously known as Cotswold Premium, Cotswold Pills, have all been renamed Hawkstone. The reason we've done this is because we are fortunate enough now to have Jeremy Clarkson as a partner and a shareholder in the business. They came and visited the brewery back in November in the first lockdown because they were looking to source beers for Diddley Farms shop. They loved our beers and said that they wanted to stock them in the shop, but also we just got into a broader conversation, didn't we, about what they grew on the farm, and you started talking to Jeremy about how you could take barley and turn it into a beer. And when we first started working with Jeremy, we created a brand that was slightly aside from the Cotswold Brew Co. But within 3 months, it was so large, and our following on Instagram was 100% of what it is for Cotswold Brew Co. So it just made sense that we brought everything under Hawkstone whilst continuing to reference our heritage as Cotswold Brewing Company because we have many loyal customers, and we like to think we'd established our brand in the marketplace as a reputation for quality, reliability and consistency, and we didn't want to lose that. And also it was really important to us and to Jeremy that this isn't seen as a celebrity endorsement, it's a genuine business partnership between a farmer and a brewer.
Hawkstone itself, I think, is a whopping great lump of rock lugged around by Neolithic types who put so much effort into their work of moving this stone around that I think that sort of has its synergies with the hard work that farmers and brewers put into their day. And so it seemed to be a good name for the brand.
And then led to the motto of the business that we now work by, which is hard to make, easy to drink.
So what can people expect when they come to the Hawkstone Tap Yard? Well, of course, there's beer, there's food. So base, they have a magnificent setup here with chicken wings, etc. Paella, pizza, you name it, we've got it.
We also have live music, quite often on a Friday during the summer. We run tours every Saturday and Sunday, and probably through the summer we'll be looking to increase those tours during the week. An average tour lasts about 2 hours, and our wonderful tour guides spend time telling you about the history of the brewery, explaining about beer styles generally, and then focusing in on how lager specifically is made and how our processes differ to those of the macro brands, the big, large lager breweries. Then they take you on a walking tour of the brewery with a pint in your hand, and then they bring you back to the tour room for a sampling of each of our beers. So we'd really like to establish ourselves as the English lager brand and be known for brewing a consistent, good quality lager.
Brilliant. I mean, Hawkstone, Jeremy's right behind all this. I don't know how much malting grade barley he's got.
Hopefully he's got enough.
He seems to keep supplying it, all right. And I think his view would be world domination in the beer market, obviously.